Good morning. Today is Tuesday, February 21st. Yeah, you know what? This month is quickly moving by, isn't it? But, as you can see in the background there, we still have some snow. Got up to about 54 here yesterday, so wasn't warm enough to melt the rest of it off. So we still have those patches of snow, although they are getting smaller. And according to the forecast, we're supposed to be getting these type of temps the rest of the week. I think that there's even some chance of some rain tonight, which will really quickly dissipate the rest of the snow. So that, as long as it's not like a torrential downpour, that probably would be a good thing to get rid of the rest of it. But anyways, yep, that's my morning. I'm sitting out here today, but I needed a sweater. But no winter coat, just a sweater, which is really nice. Yeah, so I have Missy May somewhere back there trolling around, and Mindy Lou is sitting here by me. Actually, she's in front of me, so you folks don't see her. But, yep, that's what's happening around here. And I will talk to you later on today. I hope everyone has a great day. Look at here. That is, I believe, my daisy. A Shasta daisy. It's already trying to come up. Yeah, not good. And then here, that is the beginning of a poppy trying to come up. Then, of course, I have my chives, which I talked to you about in a previous video about how these kind of grow all winter long because of that pipe going in, produces heat. So, yeah, that's just a log. I need to get that out of there. Used to be there for decoration, but now that this plant just gotten so extremely huge. Yeah, so that's going. And actually, I have a couple plants that I don't think ever really totally died back. See, this is still green from last year. And it's not crispy. I mean, it is still growing. Or at least it's still alive. I don't think it's really growing, but... And I'm not really sure what these are called, but these get a beautiful little yellow flower and they just spread and spread and spread. In fact, you end up pulling them out like weeds because they can take over, but they're so pretty and they make a lovely, quick ground cover if you have an area that is, you know, has a lot of dirt and grass doesn't want to grow. They tend to grow everywhere. But I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, and look at that. That is Black-Eyed Susan. Everything is trying to come up in February. Now here you see the remnants of the snow, and this is because it gets shoveled here from off the porch onto here. But all you have to do is just pan right over, and here it's all trying to come up. Oh dear. And honestly, I don't think I'd really be concerned if it was like daffodils or something like that, or crocuses trying to come up. But I don't even have those coming up, and these other things are growing. And not that I have any crocuses, but I do have daffodils. But they're way down, and they are still covered with little bits of snow because I have it at the borders of where the divide between what's the forest and what's the yard. So that's why they're not coming up, because they're still covered with some snow. But these other ones, I hope that they don't die. So, hey, I guess it is what it is, right? But thought I'd talk to you folks about it. If there's anything you know that I can do to save them, because where I live, we're going to get cold temps. We are going to get them back. So I just don't want the stuff to die. Talk to you later. Good evening. I do hope that everyone had a very nice day. And I am very grateful that all the procedures that my husband was going through all went well. And he's got a good report, but it filled up our entire, from late morning all the way until dinner time. So yeah, it was like the entire day. I really surprised that it took that long, but it's all good, right? But tonight, I would like to read from Proverbs chapter 11, verse 25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. You know, there's a saying, give and it will be given to you. Perhaps a better word or way of saying that same thing would be, you can't outgive God. Because when we give to another person with the right spirit, we often end up getting more good from it than the person who received it. Hence comes the old saying, it's more blessed to give than to receive. Another way, though, to think on this verse is that to get, we must give, that to accumulate, we must scatter, that to make ourselves happy, we must make others happy, and that in order to become spiritually vigorous, we must seek the spiritual good of others. When we refresh others, we ourselves will be refreshed. So, should we give to others in order to get something? Absolutely not. Not for a second. We give because His love compels us to. We give because we can. We give because He gave first. Whenever God sees a generous soul who is full of mercy and empty of self, He makes certain that one who gives much will have much. We all remember the old phrase that says, what goes around comes around? Could it possibly have been inspired by God's word? This verse is clear. When you bless others, you yourself are over the top blessed. When you help others, you will be helped. I think it's called, you reap what you sow. But there is a word of warning. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, as many unscrupulous television preachers are known to promote. In fact, it has very little to do with money, although it may involve money. The word refresh is really a lovely word. Think of a hot summer day, and now you have been made refreshed. Because in the Hebrew word, this means to be saturated or to drink one's fill. It can mean pouring water over people or pouring water into people, whether they are dry, parched, or thirsty. They will have their fill. And you know, this verse is really not necessarily speaking about a liquid refreshment either, although it can be. But it's actually anything that pleases God and gives satisfaction or satisfies others. When you refresh people,
it will soon head back in your direction. Anyone who renews others will also be renewed. So if your soul is thirsty right now, most of us tend to kind of focus on getting our own thirst quenched, right? But what if instead you found a way to bless another person, purposely blessing someone who cannot give back? That way, when your blessing returns to you, you will know the source. Because the greatest blessing isn't something that we can taste. It isn't something that we can touch. It isn't necessarily something that we can put in the bank. It's a whisper of thanks. It's a heartfelt glance. It's smiles and hugs. It's tears and it's laughter. And it's often a quiet joy. Oswald Chambers said, if we believe in Jesus, it's not what we gain, but what he pours through us that counts. So with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And both in earthly and spiritual things, God regularly deals with his people according to the measure by which they deal with others. Good night, and God bless.